underground noise
with Lee Harrison, drummer from Monstrosity. How's it going today, Lee?
Good.
Cool.
Staying busy, man.
That's the way to do it. How's this tour been so far for you?
Good. Definitely better, a little better organized than the previous one. We got a lot more time to get ready. You know, we started planning this 6 months in advance, so had a little more lead time. And you know, just so far so good. You know, it's still early. You know, first week, basically wrapping up the first week of the tour. And we had a good show the other night in Philly with DSI's Vital Remains. That was like a wrestling arena type thing. It was cool. Had some vendors out there and whatnot. Good stage. Good little thing going on. Raleigh in North Carolina was pretty cool. It was like they had a good stage. Got to meet one of the guys from Confessor. Got to see their jam room and listen to some of their new material and stuff. And Confessor's an old band that was on Earache back in like early '90s. We're always together. A little different, not quite death metal, but the drummer's amazing. I always worship him. So it's cool to be able to sit behind his kit, check it out. Yeah, that's just personal. So hey, whatever.
Right? Who are some of your biggest influences musically?
It just depends on the time. If you want to go back all the way, you know, like some of the '70s stuff going on, Cheap Trick, Ted Nugent, you know, Black Sabbath, you know, kind of the pre-'80s metal, you know what I mean? And then when like '80s came along, you know, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, that kind of thing. Queensryche, you know, more the a little more progressive, and then the thrash thing, Metallica, Slayer, Testament. And then about that time is when, you know, I started doing my own band and stuff, so I kind of became a little more focused on what, you know, what I was doing, listening to music that I'd written and recorded and things like that, and not kind of tuning out some of the, you know, whatever the bands that are going on at the moment. You know.
Who are you listening to currently?
Like I said, more, you know, a lot of stuff that I'm working on. Doing a project at midnight from Crimson Glory, so I've been listening to that a lot just because I've been recording it, spending hours and hours and hours on it. It's ridiculous. But usually whatever project I'm working on is what I'm listening to most of. And then, you know, I still listen to death metal, certain bands I like. You know, a lot of the newer stuff kind of tends to not really, you know, move me or, you know, it's not what I'm into. But then again, there's some new bands that are killer, you know, these young kids out there. When I was younger, Slayer was fast, you know, now it's like these guys just come out of nowhere and it's just like blazing all day long, you know, fast as hell. And, you know, there's going to be that 16-year-old kid who listens to that, and that's like, you know, he's going to take it to another level, you know. 10 years from now, where they're going to be, you know, they're going to be like levitating. That's it.
Here's a question you don't hear very often. What comes to your mind when you heard the word emo?
Emo? I think a goofy haircut and eyeliner and tight pants, maybe.
Those faggots don't know how to create music anymore.
Not very death metal, but you know, whatever. They can have their world. Somebody have mine.
I agree.
I'll ask a question. I mean, what was your first reaction like when you found out Webster asked, you know, George to join Corpse?
He called me. He said Cannibal asked me to join, and I told him I'd do it. Okay, cool. We were like 6 days before Millennium. So we just kind of had to, you know, it was like a decision of whether, you know, well, gee, what do we do? You know, we spent this. It's been 4 years basically since Imperial Doom, and we spent a lot of time writing and working, you know, keeping the band going through those times. You know, we had problems with Nuclear Blast at the time, and we kind of battled through that. We were just about to, you know, come out the other side when that happened. So it was kind of like one of those things you just had to think about. You know, do we want, you know, how do we want to do this? We were going to go ahead and just get another singer right then and there, but ultimately the guys, you know, it wasn't a case we could just have somebody walk in and do what needed to be done. So George agreed to, you know, we had 2 shows we had to finish up, Canada, and did one more, I forget which one it was. Canada was one of them for sure. And more as like, finish his obligations to what he had agreed to do with us, and he agreed to do the album, and now he was hanging. We were almost going to use it for Spiritual Apocalypse just because, Avery was pretty much out of gas at that point, and it's time to move on. We had talked about it with George, but it's just, he's so busy with Paths of Possession, Cannibal Corpse, and that whole thing. He's got his family now. I mean, not that he couldn't do it or anything, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did. We got somebody who was, in the band that's solid, that could dedicate themselves a little more to the band. So, in that respect, it worked out for the best. To come